It all started when I was invited on a band trip to go to Europe. So I took up on that opportunity, and I was gonna go to Europe with my friends. It's during the summer. It's gonna be a good time. So our first country was London, and then our second country was Paris, and then we went to Switzerland. This little town. I forgot what it's called. It's pretty cool though. Anyways, the people there were really nice, and they gave us a bunch of free stuff. Right, so we got to take a gondola ride up to this mountain with a nice overlook and like a patio deck thing, and then kind of a drop like mountains do. So one of my friends, Nick was like that. There's an ice cap down there, like residue, snow, all that. And then yeah, he was like, Ben, you wanna go down? And I was like, yeah, sure thing. That'll be a good time. And we were making our way down the hill. It was pretty rocky, I gotta say. So I was having a good time. I was going down this hill with Nick, and all of a sudden I feel this thing on my back. It's like hands, right? So in the moment, I'm like, what just happened? But in reality, I was falling down this mountain, this like rocky mountain. So there I was, falling down an Alp. Yeah, it was relatively scary. Have you ever been in like a car accident where everything like time stops? Well, yeah, it was like that, except time didn't stop, and I just fell down a mountain. But very rocky, right? And there's I'm trying my best to stay up, right? I was trying my best, and there's this massive rock, maybe a foot tall, and I was like, I'm gonna trip on that, and I'm gonna die, right? So I'm like, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna jump over this rock, right? This is all Nick's fault, by the way, in case you forgot that. Yeah, so I jump over the rock, right? And then Nick pushed me again after I was in the air, right? So then I hit the ground on my leg. I've got a massive scar. If you can see it right there, it's a massive scar. So I land on my leg, and then I land on my other leg. I've actually got a massive scar where my ankle was. So I hit the ground pretty hard, and I don't even know where Nick is at this point. I'm on the ground writhing in pain. My ankle's to the left of me, right? No, left. And I'm on the ground. I also have a scar here in case you couldn't tell. You see that scar? Yeah. So then I'm on the ground like this, right? And I see Nick walk by me, and he just strolls over, and he's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "You heathen." And then he doesn't say anything. He just keeps walking to that freaking ice mound, where he then has his phone out to take a selfie on the ice mound. There's a tragic photo of him smiling and my left leg in the picture like this. Right? No. Left.
Ben, you good?
My ankle.
So that big rock
Mm-hmm.
How far down the mountain would you say?
I'd say it was several feet.
How many feet?
Several.
So
That's like 3 or more.
So he pushed you down and you started running.
I started running so I could maintain my balance.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So my question is, how was Nicholas able to push you at the top and then at the rock?
Well, you see, I don't know. I didn't see him push me the second time, but I felt it. My leading theory is actually that he has arms. So as you may know, legs are in fact longer than arms. And so I think he pushed me, right? And then did a couple of cartwheels down the hill, and then kicked me that second time.
So he used all organs of his body to push you down the hill.
Yeah.
In this terrible accident.
I personally think that his liver was very responsible.
That who was?
His liver.
His liver.
Yes, his liver.
I see, because it controls the alcohol content in your body.
Yeah,
so
we were actually allowed to drink over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So would you say Nicholas was intoxicated at the time?
Well, probably not. We hadn't drinking that day. But I mean, you never know. His blood alcohol content is at least 6.
Would you say Nicholas, or Heckless in this case, is an alcoholic?
I think I would call him an alcoholic. What kind of a friend would just push me down a mountain twice and then go take a selfie as my ankle has been mauled?
That is a very good question.
Yeah. So what's up with you, Doc?
Well, you see, I'm asking, do you recognize the symbol right here?
That appears to be a window.
Okay. Very good. Now, were there any windows on this mountain?
On that plaza that I'm telling you about earlier, I think there's like one.
Okay. Also, for the more accurate description, what year did this partake in?
6.
6. I guess in 6 AD?
86.
My final question is, do you have any other companions with you on that day that saw this horrendous, terrible act, almost as bad as the Holocaust take place?
I had several friends there. Evan Brickmont, Evan Dunell, Ian Harper, and Bosman.
Bosman and Bosman.
No, that's one guy. Bosman.
Bosman.
Yeah.
How do you spell Bosman?
DOSNAM.
I think that concludes our questioning period.
Okay. So what's a memory loss drug?
So, it was the summer of 18, and me and the boys, specifically me, Bosnam, Evan Brickmont, Evan Brunel, Ian, and Border, traveled to Europe for a 3-week-long trip. And on our trip through France and Switzerland, all of us were getting pretty hammered every single night. It's a lot of fun. And then on the first day we were in Switzerland, they gave us a lot of free time. So we decided to go up and see the view of the Alps from where we were staying on top of these near this gondola kind of thing. And so we went up to the top of the gondola and we're all looking out across the Alps and looking at all the mountains. And suddenly, at the bottom of this hill, I see this patch of ice, like the ones that they do for skiing and stuff, right? And so I go, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I got a picture on that, right? So, and the way to go down there took 15 minutes. to go all the way around to get down there, and we didn't have that much time. So I go, does anyone want to come with me? And it was, what I was planning on doing was going down this, like, kind of steep, but not really steep mountain. It was not steep at all. And so Ben goes, yeah, I'll come with you. And so his mom is there and his dad is there. And suddenly, I'm like going down slowly, right? I'm just like, all right, I'm going to take this slow. And I actually tell Ben to take it slow. And he looks at me. And he goes, I will go slow. So I'm sitting there on the mountain, and I stopped. And because I was going down pretty slowly, I was stopping every few feet or so to make sure I wasn't going to die. And suddenly, Ben, who was actually still at the top as I was halfway down, starts running down. And he sees a rock at the bottom, and he decides to jump over it. And he starts flipping in the air. And at this moment, I was like, oh no. Like, he's my friend. And so he's lying down there, like, and he kept rolling down, and it wasn't even that steep after the base of the hill, so he kept rolling down like 30 feet away, and I just was looking there like, oh my goodness, I need to go help him. So then I get down there, and all I can think about is my friend okay? Can I have a tissue, please? And anyway, he's sitting down there, and I go, Ben, are you okay? And he just looks up at me, you know, like, just like he wants to be put out of his misery. And he goes, yeah, Nick, I'm okay. And I go, oh my, okay, good. Just stay right there, okay? Help's coming, okay? And I'm yelling up to the top, telling everybody to get down here. And they, of course, decide to take the long way around. And I asked Ben, are you okay? Again, I wanted to make sure, you know. And it turns out it was just his ankle. And he goes, I can't feel my ankle. I can't walk on it. And I go, here, like, just stay here for a minute, okay? And I thought to myself, this sacrifice needs to be worth it, right? Like, why did I come down here in the first place? And so I decided to go over to the ice cap and take the picture in honor of Ben. And because he hurt himself, I wanted to honor his memory. So I did that. And I got back over to him, and I'm making sure he's okay. And then Bosman's yelling at me now, because now the rest of them are down. Bosman and especially Brickmont, he's yelling at me so much. And I don't like to be yelled at. Anyway. And then we get Ben up, and he just starts walking. Ben, are you okay? Tell me you're okay, son. Ben! Ben! 1, 2. Are you okay? Okay, hold on.
Well, that did it. My angle.
You were walking pretty slow down this mountain, right?
Yes.
What would you say your velocity was?
My average velocity, or just my velocity?
Just your average velocity, would you say?
Okay.
We don't need instantaneous at this moment.
Okay. Maybe about 4 meters per second.
Okay. And what would you say Ben's was at least double that?
Ben's was probably at least 30 meters per second.
So he was going pretty substantial, you would say.
Yes.
Yes.
It was
Okay.
pretty substantial in terms of how fast he was going.
Okay, so and he jumped over this rock.
Sorry, I'm crying again.
It's okay. Take your time.
Can I have a second?
I don't have a tissue box.
What? Okay, continue.
So
I'll be fine.
yeah. So how much height did he get when jumping this rock?
He was probably about maybe 6 or 7 feet.
So pretty substantial height.
Yes.
More than his normal height.
It was a chunky height,
Okay.
if that's what you were asking.
Yeah. Okay, I see. So he was going very fast, jumping very high, and then came down very hard.
Yes.
And then you, like the hero you are,
Mhm.
and since Long Arms hero, who?
I don't like to call myself a hero. Please.
Well, you are in this story.
Yes. Well,
You
I'm
definitely
a
are,
humble-
as evident by.
I'm a humble person.
Yes.
Please.
Well-
please.
Well, if you could compare yourself to any one modern or
I would have
past
to say
hero.
Gandhi.
You said after you tended to Ben's wounds, like the hero you are,
Mhm.
right?
But
you,
I'm not a hero. Again.
Okay,
please.
yeah. But you went down to that patch of ice and took a photo in his honor, right?
Yes.
And
it was-
you felt like that was a appropriate action.
I felt that in the moment, to honor his sacrifice of going down the hill and making sure it was safe for everyone, for me to go down, it was just the right thing to do. And now I can use the picture that I took and use it, and we can look back on it and see the good time that he actually had.
It's a good time. And you then said that you proceeded to carry him around the rest of the day. Is that correct?
Yes, I carried him.
What
approximately
position did
10
you
miles.
use?
Fireman.
Okay. So you fireman carried him around the rest of the day. I bet that must have been kind of hard, huh?
It really wasn't.
It wasn't
No,
because of.
it just wasn't pleasurable.
Oh, okay. I see. Could you have an opening statement about what you perceived happened on your Switzerland trip in 2018?
Yeah. I broke a candle.
Is that all?
Nick broke my ankle.
Okay. Is anything else?
Can I object?
No. This is opening statements of opening statements.
What was the question?
What is your opening statement for what happened in Switzerland? In 2018, to be specific.
In 2018?
Yes, while you were there on a band trip with Cherry Creek High School band.
Great.
Actually, we weren't with Cherry Creek High School. Just
Actually, we were.
no, we weren't.
Yes, we were.
Please,
No, we weren't.
order! Do you have anything else for your opening statement there, Ben?
Nick did it.
Will that be all?
That'll be all.
Okay, thank you. Now, Nick, for your opening statement, what would you like to inform us of?
Well, in the words of Chairman Mao, I didn't do it. Okay. I said earlier that I see myself as not a hero, but as a triumphant of the situation.
Can I object?
No.
No, this is opening statements.
I saved his life.
Okay.
I did not harm him. I did not rip his ankle from existence, as he supposes. And I saw him there, at the base of the mountain. I broke my heart. So it hurts me that he says that I did it.
Would you like a tissue? It looks very emotional.
I would. Can I? Thank you. Sorry, these are annoying me.
Here, I will.
Alright, so yeah. It was a hard day. And I didn't do it.
Will that be all for your opening statement?
I think so.
So the first question I have for you, Ben, since Nicholas already answered this, is what would you say was the angle of the mountain in radians, please? Third quadrant.
Third quadrant?
Third quadrant, please.
Isn't that...
It's the one below 2.
Yeah, it's gotta be at least... It's gotta be a... Oof. Do we have a unit circle?
No, unfortunately we do not. Just use that handle.
So like down here?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be at least like 7 pi over 6.
7 pi over 6.
Is that right? Like the one that's just next to.
Yeah. So not too terribly steep.
Well, okay. Well, in that case, let's change it to a whatever the one in between those is.
So 5 pi over 4.
No, that makes no. In between, and that's out of 12. You must not understand how to do math. So like.
Evidently not.
So like
15 pi over 12.
You're thinking of 7 pi over 12.
No, so that's quadrant 2.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is.
Would you look at that?
13 pi over 12.
No. Like the one that's like
4 pi over 3.
4 pi over 3.
Would you say it was about that steep?
No, 4 pi over.
Or is that
where
too
is 4
steep?
pi over 3?
Third quadrant.
Down here.
Down here, this one.
The one that's really steep.
Yeah. Would you say it was about that steep?
Oh, you know what? I was using the wrong one. Yeah, that one.
Okay. Nicholas, on the other hand, did not say it was that steep. He said it was 7 pi over 4.
Where is that?
Third quadrant.
Well, that's gotta be at least.
So
Yeah.
So you two have conflicting views about the steepness of the mountain. The stope. It's the stopeness. Sorry, I'm not a native English speaker.
Oh, I could tell.
Okay. So the stopeness of the mountain in Switzerland. Do you think that played an important factor in that horrific accident that occurred that day?
I gotta say probably.
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 Do you have anything to say to that, Nicholas?
I think it did.
Do you think it did?
I think it did. The angle of the stokeness going down, it just gave him more speed. And it just made him go faster, and I think that's how he hit 30 meters per second.
Okay.
I object.
How? You think it was 31? Of course you...
No. It is 29.
No, you went faster. I saw you. Maybe you felt slower because you were like spinning. I saw you go.
That makes no sense.
It does in my head.
So okay, I give you this ratio.
What ratio?
So Earth to how fast Earth spins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you saying that you were
me to how fast I
going the
spin.
wrong way that Earth was going, so therefore you're going slower?
So
Yeah,
are you saying you were spinning with Earth rotation?
So you know.
Yeah,
how,
but scientists say that at that moment we were spinning in
No,
the
I
same
was not
direction
spinning.
as the Earth,
No,
so
see,
we
that
were
makes no
going.
sense.
You were going faster.
No, I was going slower. I was
No, you
going
were going
opposite.
faster. No, you're going.
You know how the winds
Science
in
proves
like
it.
the
Science
equators,
proves
like
it.
they like the winds go.
Okay. So
Next question.
yes.
I'm done with this. I need another tissue.
Nick, this is a question for you.
Wait, is this for me?
Yes.
Wait. What's the question?
I'm about to ask the question.
Okay.
What?
Is this for me?
Yes.
I think so.
Nick, Nick, this question is for you. What?
Did you say me?
Yeah.
What's my name?
Ahead.
Yeah.
What time of day did this incident begin at?
Well, you see, it was around maybe 9 or so in the morning.
In the morning. What time would that be? PST time for our viewers at home.
Like 9 in the morning.
Okay.
Wait, are we in the mountains?
Yeah.
Why would we be on Pacific time?
Yeah.
Because Switzerland's closest to the
That's
Pacific
Pacific
Ocean.
time. Why would we be on specific time?
Because that's the ocean closest to Switzerland. If you didn't know, it has a.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the Mediterranean Sea is closest.
That's on an ocean, though.
Yes, it is.
Actually,
It's a sea.
no. Liechtenstein is pretty close to Switzerland itself.
Oh, that's right. Liechtenstein, the body of water.
Okay. So, 9 a.m.
Yes. They got us up pretty early, maybe around 6:37 or so. And they told us we had a couple hours of free time to do whatever we wanted, and we could go up on the gondola, which is what we did, or do some other things that were interesting. I don't remember what they were now, being so as it was 10 months ago. Yeah,
I
later.
object. We went on a cool boat.
On a cool boat.
On this cool lake.
Actually, yes, we did do that. We went
Was
on.
that before this incident?
It was before, indeed.
Before.
It was
So
before. So around maybe 7:30 or so.
you went on a boat.
Or
Yeah. It was
7:38.
like a paddle boat without feet.
It was a paddle boat. You know, you like.
Like one of these?
Yes, I
Yep.
do.
So we were doing that. I actually have a picture of Ben doing that.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, I have proof that it happened. Because you seem to be objecting. Does he seem to be
I
objecting?
think so. So what was the question?
The question was what time it began at. Like,
Sorry, bro, this is bringing back memories of no.
it's okay. Take your time.
The Iraq War was so hard. Okay. God, Condi fought so hard.
I'm so sorry for
I remember he wrote a letter to Viceroy Prince Irwin.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a good letter.
That's deep.
What was the question?
Yeah, so it started at 9 a.m. You say. Ben, do you have any objections to that time?
I'd say it's probably around like 9:26 and like.
9:26. Was that the time you were at the top of the mountain?
No, I believe that was the time I was 4 feet above the ground.
I think the trouble really started when I saw the ice cubes.
I think you're right. So then you seduced me down the hill.
I don't think I would seduce you.
I think you seduced me.
I
So
don't
we were walking
seduce
down the
women.
hill.
Are you saying you're a woman?
No, are you saying that you're gay? So
I'm
I
not
was
saying
walking
that
down the
gay,
hill.
'cause you're not a
I
woman.
I was walking down the
I
hill.
didn't seduce you then.
You didn't seduce me.
If
You
you're a
didn't seduce
woman,
me.
then I'm gay.
Yeah, okay. So I was walking down the hill when all of a sudden I was pushed.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
How sure? Because I did not push you.
I'm pretty sure you pushed me.
I was halfway down the mountain.
See, that makes no sense because you
What
were
do you
behind
mean?
me. What do
No,
you
I
mean?
wasn't. I started going down the mountain at 4 meters per second. What did you do? Go down at 30.
29.
No, you already thought about this.
So I was pushed.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So I
You
started
ran.
going. I was
You
no,
ran.
I was pushed.
You
I
ran.
started going
No,
at a.
you started
a
going
high,
down.
A high velocity that was
If
probably
let's
just
say,
like
can
a
I
tad.
use your candles?
No, you cannot.
Why not?
Because they're my candles.
Okay,
I was
I agree
probably
with that.
going down at just like a tad under 30.
I respect boundaries.
I respect boundaries as well. So I was pushed.
Okay, no, you were not pushed.
I was pushed.
No, you weren't.
And I'm like running down the hill because I was pushed at approximately 29 meters per second. I was pushed, and then there was this.
How
rock.
can a person push you 29 meters per second?
I don't think that you
How
understand.
we ruled out the theory that a mountain pushed you.
Where is the mountain? There's
It's
no
in
mountain.
Switzerland, next to Liechtenstein.
The lake.
Yes,
Okay,
it's that way.
gotcha. So I was running.
No, you.
That's-
Yeah, you started running.
No, I was running because
How
I
was
was pushed.
I was in front of you? Yeah, this is the mountain.
This mountain.
This is the mountain.
What's
This
the
is
angle? Like
It was like we say like
Like
5
four-
pi over
4
4,
pi over 3.
7 6 over 12.
76 divided by 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So we got the mountain, right?
Yeah.
And then I was pushed.
no, you weren't pushed.
I was pushed.
No.
Going-
Okay, you were up here. This is the top
This
of
is
the
the
mountain.
top
okay.
of the mountain, and this is the
I
mountain.
was here.
Okay.
I was
no,
down
no,
here.
No, that's me and that's you.
No.
Yeah, no.
How?
This is me.
How?
This is you. You
No.
pushed me.
Yes, I was
You're-
above you after you. If I'm here, you're here.
No.
You started running down. At this
No,
point,
that's-
yes, I was above you.
No,
I did not
no,
push
you were
there.
above me the whole time.
How? No,
See,
I was
see,
not.
This is you.
I am not God.
This
I
is
know
you.
I was above
This
you.
is you. This is me.
What?
Because you're a top.
No.
It's because you're gay.
You really gotta bring that in here?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. So I'm running at approximately 29
I
meters
can
per
only be
second.
gay for Bosman.
You're right.
And he's at the top.
He's at the top. So like this is me, this is you, this is Bosman.
No, it's me, then you, then Bosman.
Like a solar eclipse.
Yes.
So-
Kind of. No, it's
so-
a lunar eclipse.
No, you're saying I'm a moon?
Yeah.
So me,
The
you.
moon is cool. It gets
Bosman.
destroyed in like every movie.
I hate that.
It
you seen Star Wars?
I have.
Cool. Okay, so this is me, this is you.
No,
this is
no, no,
Bosman.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Me, then you,
No.
then Bosman.
No.
Maybe Bosman's at the bottom of the hill. I
What?
wouldn't
No,
know
he was not down there.
Did Bosman?
Ice Cube was at the bottom of the hill.
No, it was below Bosman.
Ice Cube was below Yeah, that would make sense because Ice Cube was down here. Me, you, Bosman.
No, 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 no. Ice Cube, Bosman, you, me.
No,
I'm at
Bosman-
the top.
No, Ice Cube. Me, you. Yeah.
Bosman.
God.
Are you saying Bosman's God?
No.
Is God above him?
God is like in the heaven, like
up there.
like. Could you put your hand here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is God.
Like he's not that far up.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay.
so I'm running.
I feel like we need a visual representation of how high God is. I feel like another candle is needed. Yes.
Okay.
And then like up here.
Yeah. So this is Bosman.
This is Bosman.
It's kind of long.
He is kind of long. Isn't he fat?
No, he's long.
He's long. Okay.
That's what he
So can we continue?
Okay.
off
Okay.
topic?
So we can agree that I was running at some point.
Yes, you were right.
Okay.
But you did not get pushed.
But I was running, and there was this abnormally sized rock,
Yes. Yes. And you jumped.
and I jumped as to conserve my body,
Yes.
like abstinence.
Yes.
Okay. And then I was pushed a second time.
How?
What do you mean how?
What do you mean how? You just said you jumped over the rock to avoid bodily harm.
Exactly. And
Like
I was pushed.
abstinence.
I was pushed.
Did you know it actually hurts?
Abstinence?
Yes.
Like it hurts to not have sex?
Yes.
Huh.
Anyway, we're getting off
I
topic.
was pushed
Are we
second
on
time.
topic?
No.
Can we get back to the medium bang? I feel like that's important.
What was the question? Cool.
Alright, thank you for your input. Ethiopian liar. So
Freaking not gay or something? I don't
even know. That's no news from Iran.
But he's Ethiopian.
He's not Bernie. She's not from Iran.
His mom was gay. Okay. So at which point I was pushed approximately 4 6/2 foot off the ground. Yeah.
Is that how far your first foot or your second foot
No,
was
no,
off
no.
the ground?
No, like, are you saying I have 6 half of feet?
Yes.
No, I've got like.
No, you have 4 halves of feet.
Okay, so like 2.
Yeah.
You know what I don't have?
What?
4 halves of an ankle.
Why is that?
Because I was pushed a second
You
time.
weren't pushed
Pushed a second
You
time.
were not!
I was!
No, you weren't!
I most definitely
You
was.
do no,
You pushed me
no,
a second
no,
time.
what do you mean? Okay.
Wait, so by saying that I
Wait.
was not pushed the second time, you're acknowledging that I was pushed the first time?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Okay, so hear me out.
Yeah, I did not push you at all. You
That
were
makes
not
no sense.
pushed!
You pushed me.
No, I did not! Do you want me to get the box again? Because I will start crying.
I'm so
I
sorry.
will start crying.
I'm not
right
trying
here,
to-
right now. I can't take this. Why are you putting a tissue up there? Do you see this?
God.
This is a tear. Because of you, okay? You've put me through this mental trauma.
No.
You gave me
I-
PTSD!
No, you gave me PTSD.
You gave me this lung
You gave me
disease.
PTSD. I did not give you a lung disease.
How do you know that?
Who gave you
Me running down to help
God.
you gave me a lung disease.
God gave you a lung
God
disease.
does not exist. I am Jewish.
I'm pretty sure Jew has God.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 90% sure.
Are you Jew? So then you wouldn't know.
But you're
you
like
wouldn't
50%
know.
Jew. So that
I
makes no sense.
50% know more than you.
So after I was pushed the second time,
No,
I
you
was-
weren't pushed at
I
all.
hit the
You were
ground.
not pushed at all.
Kind of funny, and then I was rolling.
Yeah, you rolled a lot.
You know
I can
that
agree on
song,
that.
Rolling?
Rolling Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. See that? So I was rolling.
What about the Adele song though? We can't forget about that. Rolling in the Deep.
I like that song.
Yeah. It goes exactly like that.
Okay.
You want to sing it?
No.
Okay.
So I was laying at the bottom of the hill,
Yes.
and you were above me because you
Yes.
pushed me.
No, because I was walking down the hill.
No, because you.
I was saying
I was
safe.
walking down.
I told you to be safe.
No.
Yes, I did.
No, you said,
yes, I
you said-
did.
You specifically,
Yes, I did.
you specifically did not tell me to not go fast.
I told you to be safe. I didn't say yes. I'll admit I did not say don't go fast. I said
Exactly.
I said be
And
safe.
at that point, you
What does be
twisted-
safe mean?
I don't know.
It always means go slow.
That makes no sense.
What do you mean? When do most car accidents happen? When you're going fast.
When you're in a parking lot.
And how fast are you going in a parking lot?
It's gotta be at least 60.
That proves my point.
That mean,
Because you're going fast.
fast is like, I'm talking like feet per hour.
Nick, could you please give us your end closing statement?
Yes, I can. And it was just such a hard day for everyone involved. And
Yeah, it was hard.
can you please not interrupt? Just seeing Ben down there. Can I borrow some candy?
What if I give you like a piece?
A piece works. And just seeing him down there, it was just hard. And I couldn't really do anything about it. Your turn.
My turn. So what was the question?
Ben, could you please give your end closing statement?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, I was hard. And so was the rocks. Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is probably don't do drugs. Could I get some of that?
So, I have a final question for you both.
Thank you.
Who was right?
Ben.
Nick.